Sure. What's up?
How did you get that?
How did I get that? I ordered through mail. Uh,
Mail?
yeah, mail. Yeah. On the computer. I'll put that on a website for you. Oh.
How did you do that?
Lots of practice.
With that control?
Hmm.
What did you do for it?
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. It's radio controlled. It's all.
And those are wheels?
Mhm.
Whoa! How did you do that?
It's all in the radio. The radio tells the plane what to do. Well, I'm glad I did a lot better this time. I think I put on a little better show. Last time I was out here, it met the building.
Oh, so beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, well, you could get these online. And they're not a lot of money.
Those
I mean, this plane, believe it or not, I mean, for a beginner, this is not a good plane to start with. It takes a lot of experience. Yeah, because, I mean, this plane has to fly on speed. You know, you need a lot of speed to keep it going. But they have other planes like
Wait.
the propeller jobs.
Yes.
You know, like the wings on top.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Why doesn't move from those? You should go over there.
Oh, no, they didn't get that far yet. Technology. But yeah, well, it could be, yeah. But no, they have like they call trainers, and you know, when you fly the plane, it's really slow and it glides for you.
Yeah.
You know, and they also have flight simulators where you could plug in the computer. They have a control like this. You plug in the computer, so you could practice because like when you fly a plane, like when the plane's flying away from you,
yeah.
You know, left is left, right is right.
Right.
But now it's all psychological. It's called muscle memory. Now when the plane turns and it's headed towards you, left is right, right is left. You know, and same thing upside down. You know, like if you're flying upside down, you know, you don't want to pull down to go up. You got to go opposite. So everything is constant. You know, it takes a while. I mean, no, it's not bad. It's not too bad though. Believe it or not, what do you think a plane like this costed?
Yeah.
What do you think something like this, money-wise?
My husband, so.
Years ago, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the plane, feel the plane. Yeah.
Oh, it's not heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says feel the material. You know what it is? It's a tough foam.
Oh.
You know, so if you crash it up like I did, I used hot glue and I put it together.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's fixed. I mean, I just got to, get a little paint and paint it up.
No.
But yeah, it's all foam. It's electric.
Wow, beautiful.
You know, I mean, I never heard of this plane. I mean, I was always into World War II planes. This plane, believe it or not, originated from 1940s. Well, actually, the design came out in the 40s, but in the 50s, this is a British. They call it a Sea Vixen. And I was like, wow, I didn't know they had jets back then. But yeah, no, this plane, believe it or not, through the mail, I think it was $140. You know, I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but back 20, 25 years ago, all this would have been a couple thousand, a few thousand. And things changed over the years. I mean, the control has gotten better.
Yeah, this is what's
I mean, when I was, I'm almost 40 now, but when I was, I guess I was 5, 6 years old, you're familiar with Shea Stadium, right?
Yeah.
The World's Fair Marina, do you remember that?
Marina Atlero.
It's like on the other side of the water. Well, my dad was into these, but they were balsa wood. You had to put them together, and so by the time you were done and the plane came out perfect, you were half afraid to fly it because it took so much time.
I know.
His friend was into the same thing, and like I said, the controllers weren't that good. You couldn't trust them, but they were expensive. He was flying in the marina, and it glitched. He lost control. The plane took off on him. This is the middle of winter time, and landed in Shea Stadium. This is back in like 1979. But nowadays, I mean, they've just gone so crazy. I mean, I could literally take this plane and fly 3/4 of a mile away. The ranges, I'm phenomenal. I mean, like, and no problems. But all right, take care. You have a good night. Oh, skateboards. Oof. Believe it or not, I don't know. I'm going to play with you. What do you think? Because this is how I got into it a couple of years ago.
I'm thinking about 600. Higher or lower?
Lower.
3.
Would you believe I bought the plane for... The plane went for $149.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
And the controller, what do you think the controller went for?
Lower or high?
Well, it depends. What do you think lower or higher is?
lower than higher than...
Oh, lower than higher than the plane?
Yeah.
The controller, believe it or not, is make a long story. I'm just going to quick explain. Back 20 years ago, you know the cars, RC cars.
Yeah.
You know, they only use 2 channels, one for throttle, one for steering.
Yeah.
They call, for every channel it is, it's, one channel for the throttle, one channel for steering. Years ago, back 25 years ago, it was $100 a channel. So if you bought a 2-channel radio, it was almost $200. So if you bought a 4-channel radio, it was almost $400.
Yeah.
And, and so on. This is a 9-channel radio, and it cost me just about $100.
Pretty good.
I mean,
Not bad.
And how I got started, same thing. I mean, you came to the field or whatever. Except mine was a little different. You know Union Boulevard?
Yeah.
As you're heading, like, I was on 5th Avenue, I made it right on Union.
Okay.
And I was heading towards, I think Grand Union's still there, I'm not sure. But the shop center on the left-hand side.
Cullen over there?
Yeah. There used to be an old shop on a corner. I think it was called Galati's, but it was abandoned. I'm passing by in my car. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Had the music playing. Next thing you know, I'm hearing this high-pitched whistle. I'm like, what the hell? My car's loud. The radio is loud, and I still heard this whistle. Like, but it's getting louder, so whatever it is, it's catching up to me quick. So I'm like, what the hell? So I lowered the radio. Do you remember that movie Top Gun?
Yes.
You remember the F-14 Tomcat?
Yeah.
It was one of those.
How big?
It was about the same size.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger. This thing goes, I mean, from me to you, I kid you not. I'm driving, and it fucking blew past me like 90 miles an hour. I'm like, whoa, like what? I mean, there was nobody on the road, thank God. I mean, otherwise I probably would hit somebody in front of me. I pull over to the side, I'm like, what the hell just happened? What the hell is that? And I'm looking at it, this thing's going inverted. I mean, it would have dogged this thing. I mean, if you thought this thing was fast. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, so I'm parked on the side of the road. I see this plane. I've never seen somebody flying in the street before. Where the hell is this guy? I'm looking around now. It was a little old man. I mean, he looked like he probably flew in World War II back. He probably looked like he was 90 years old. I'm like, what the hell? I gotta go back and say hello to him, So I'm BSing with him. And I'm thinking, something like that. Several grand easily. You know, not knowing that's electric.
Yeah.
You know, he's flying around, whatever. I'm like, excuse me, seriously, you know, I think it's kind of expensive to be flying your plane up here, you know. He's like, you crash it, you out a lot of money, right? You know. Oh no, it's cheap. I'm like, yeah, okay, cheap. You know, I'm probably talking like an undercover millionaire. You know, what's a few grand, you know, whatever.
Yes.
But he lands the plane right on Union Boulevard. I'm like, this guy's fucking nuts, you know.
Union, that's a good place.
I mean, he's flying this thing. I mean, he was flying this thing like nobody's business, flying upside down, like, and they're talking around. I'm like, holy shit, you know. So it was crazy.
There's probably a lot of practice there too.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's more practice, obviously, but you know, he's got a lot of time on it. But I was just like amazed, you know. So he lands it, brings it right to my feet. It's like I'm looking at it, you know, all detailing. I'm like, and I don't know what it's made of. You know, I'm thinking it's balsa wood, metal, or whatever. Like, wow, it's really this. Pick it up. I ain't touching the damn thing. No way, you know.
Plastic? Styrofoam.
It's foam.
Holy shit.
My old U.S. teacher, he was in the Navy. He actually had one that was like metal.
Yeah.
Well, from one
He said.
the gas powered one. Gas powered one.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can go. You know, you can go from this to. I mean, they still have them out there. I mean, you can go from like this to like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. It's crazy. No, seriously. That'll be an extra state park. That'll be in Hexter State Park. The world's largest RC plane was flown.
I know. I used to work there.
Okay, so you probably saw it, big
Yeah.
B-17 with the Harley Davidson engines.
Yeah.
It took two guys to fly this friggin' thing. I'm like, holy hell! I'm like, I don't even want to imagine the money. I mean, if that thing crashed, I wouldn't want to be around those two guys. Exactly. No, but yeah, it's you know what? It's affordable nowadays because years ago this would have been a few grand, easy. You know, back 20, 25 years ago. Like I was explaining to the lady, you know, this is balsa wood. You know, it took you forever to put it together with the framing and then the monocoat to clear the plastic. If you got it right, you know, you're like, oh wow, this thing came out good. Now you're half afraid to fly it because you don't want to screw it up.
I want to get the gas powered cars, but those run about like 2-3 grand or so.
The gas powered cars?
Yeah.
Really?
They run from 600 to like $1 grand.
Wow, they're still up there. I thought by now they'd come down. I mean, they've been out for a while.
When I was working on Hexter, they had one of the guys had a car. He just ran and he's booking it down the field. He was just cruising it down the field, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, let me try this thing. Let me see it. Come down steering with it. I'm drifting with it. I just took off. He goes, I want to see how far it went.
Oh, you can this thing. These transmitters nowadays, you get 3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah, this thing was like 2 miles away from me, and I was just going still. I had to turn back and come back.
Yeah, before you lost, you couldn't.
Yeah.
You lost sight of it.
There's one online that you can actually fit in yourself. It's basically like a mini plane, and you just take off with it.
Yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, the world's largest RC plane was done years ago. It was done by NASA with the F-14 Tomcat back in the early 70s.
They have
like,
one that goes on a track, right? But he takes it off on a track. It's gas powered. It has a mini jet engine in it.
oh, yeah, I believe it.
Okay.
I believe
It's on YouTube. You just type in RC jet planes, and it's got this mini jet engine.
Well,
and it takes off, and then do about go to like 100 and something miles an hour, just and takes off.
somebody did that. When you're on a computer later, look up Hobby King. That was the place where I got this. But they have the like technicians. They do like all sorts of crazy little things. He made a little jet engine. They call it CDF. It's an inductive fan unit.
Okay.
But he made on a tail a plane very similar to this, with the same tail boom and everything, except there's a single engine, not a double engine. He made an afterburner. And dude, when he turned this thing on, I mean, he flew it like this time, this time in the evening. He turned it on. If it didn't sound like the real McCoy flying by, it was like, and you saw the flames like. I'm like, and he did that with a foam plane. What are you, crazy? Especially with the tail right there. I mean, it's like you're gonna start to let the like the tail on fire. But it was crazy. I'm like, he made like this brass sleeve. It was nuts. I mean, some people got too much time in their hands. But
I had that, huh? I made my own.
oh, you know what it is? Nowadays, you buy the plane, you screw it together, glue it together, or whatever, and the assembly time was maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and out in the field, charge the LiPo pack up, and.
I want my own project.
I wouldn't take a plane. I think I would crash it.
Well, you're gonna crash. It's only normal. If you ain't, like the old saying goes, you ain't crashing, you ain't flying.
Yeah.
Crashing, yeah.
But, huh?
Crash.
Did I crash? This is my second flight with this thing. Last week, I was flying it. Actually, I had a terrible day. I crashed twice. My second, my second plane is over, the next block over in somebody's tree.
Oh, okay. That works.
What happened? Oh, well, it was windy out, and I didn't know this plane. Like, I took it up, and I was getting used to it, and the wind was kicking me around bad. So I'm like, I also have big World War II planes as well. So I'm like, you know what? Before I get into trouble, let me land this thing hot. You know, coming really fast, land and get on the ground before the wind comes up and tries to take it. So I did that, and I mean, I probably touched down by where I was standing.
Yeah, down over there. Okay.
I pulled up on the elevator just a little bit just to try to slow down. It must have like I must have had like a crosswind. It was like bounced off the building. It picked the plane back up again. Just kept on going. The building finally stopped it over there. I'm like, son of a bitch! I'm like, I landed over there and I freaking crashed over there. I'm like, damn. So yeah, obviously you see little wheel marks, little hot glue works wonders. And yeah, my second plane, the F-18 Hornet.
Yeah. Okay, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's if you go to the next block over, there's like a white house with a tall tree. You can see the Hornet in the tree. It was like one of those trees where you really couldn't climb. The branches were like that, and it was like high enough where we took these poles.
You shove a little kid up there and just go.
Yeah.
Get a pole.
But it didn't bother me because that plane wasn't a lot of money, and it was like, you know what, the hell with it. And the guy's like, what do we do with this thing? It's like, it's up in my tree. It's like, don't worry, Memorial Day's coming up, you got a nice patriotic piece. The guy's like, okay. You're not mad? It's like, I'm not mad. I got no one at home. Don't worry about it.
Big gust of wind.
No, I could, dude. I could. It was like when it soft landed into the tree, and it was just like the tree like hugged it. It was weird because I had like super long pole, like we put like 3 poles together, and I'm jabbing at it. I'm like trying to get it this way, and it was like the tree just grew around like instantly. I'm like, all right, fine, hell with it. I was like, okay, you know.
How did you get the controller to go with the plane? Just the wiring and whatnot?
Well, actually, no. Receivers. Actually, nowadays, yeah, when you buy a controller, like, I could program technically 9 planes with the controller,
Really?
9 different receivers. All right, if you do it, well, no, they're labeled. You know,
Okay.
you label in the screen here. With the receivers, I mean, if you do it right and you set all your planes up, it's probably like infinite amount of planes, because you can probably like have this plane and the next plane next to it fly exactly the same. So now you got 2 planes on, on one. Yeah, I mean, on one block, So I'm saying instead of having now I can take that and double it, because now all my planes almost fly the same, But no, the controller, believe it or not, the receivers, like when you buy the plane, it doesn't come with receivers. All these are loose, and you just plug these servos into the receiver.
Okay.
And I don't know. Do you remember the control? Do you remember the remote controls like years ago? Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Remember the crystals?
Yep.
No more.
Really?
No more crystals. When you buy, like, let's say if I want to buy more receivers, I bind them.
Okay.
And how what you do is it comes with a plug with a wire loop, and you plug it in on the very top, and you plug the plane in without the motor. You power the receiver, and there's a button right here. You hold your finger on the button, and you turn the transmitter on, and boom, it binds right away. And then you let the plug up, and everything's good. Go offline. I mean, it's freaking easy. It's just like, it's crazy. I mean, years ago you never did this stuff.
People like burning wires and
Yeah, soldering. I mean, there's still some soldering involved. You want to do some crazy stuff, but I don't really have that much time to do crazy things. I mean, so I just like keep it basic. If I do build something crazy and I crash it, I'm really gonna be pissed.
Well, like a show thing then.
Yeah, exactly. In this field, there's a guy on YouTube has a plane doing like 240 miles an hour. I'm like, it's electric powered. I'm like, that's retarded. How do you can't even see it. It's like you hear it wind up. It's like, and by the time it's like and like dude, it was in your range like within like a finger snap.
They had a camera following him one day, and the camera actually lost it.
Well, actually, the guy had a camera,
On it?
a hat camera. He had a camera on the plane, and he had his wife with the camcorder trying to zoom in on the plane. And all 3 cameras lost the plane. But the guy brought it around and came back. I'm like, how the fuck did he see that shit?
A lot of practice with that one.
It's like, that's okay, that's getting retarded. I mean, it's all fun and games, but if that plane loses control at 230 miles an hour and hits somebody, it's going to hurt him. It's going to ruin your day.
They hit him in the chest, it's going to kill him. They hit him in the legs, probably broken legs.
Well, if it was a foam plane, I mean, it's going to ruin your day.
Yeah, that's going to get that thing up there.
This one here, they say, I mean, unless I'm used to it, without the ordnance, because the ordnance really slow it down, this thing will go about 90 out of the box. You know, but today, I mean, I don't know if you, did you guys see it go?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
saw it.
actually
Saw it
past
on
the
the
building.
Last time I threw it out the ordnance, it was a lot faster. So when I was like, you know what, let me put them back on, because when it comes time to landing, you know, the ordnance will help slow the plane down. And
That doesn't show the speed on it, does it? On the controller, shows the speed or whatnot, or no?
No, but you can get control, you can get a clock, or they have these things where you can put it on a plane and it'll monitor your speed, and you can read it off the controller. It's really sick.
What shit comes up with now these days? It's like ridiculous. Back then it's like you couldn't get all this like electronical stuff in those days. Like,
I mean, nowadays they have these. I have my camera glasses. I paid a whopping $40 for them. Camera glasses. Oh, yeah, I'm still going too.